What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Real Talk podcast. I am your host, Rick Ortiz, and today I have two gentlemen that have completely shaken up the social media game. Whether you like it or not, you have to see their stuff. Some people don't like it, and we're gonna kind of dive into that. More people do like it, but the goal of this podcast is to keep it 100% real, provide some 100% real value to your life in some way or another, right? And these guys have some incredible stories. So without further ado, gentlemen, thank you for joining me today, Mr. Brad Scott and Dylan Shively. Two of the best, like I said. So we'll kind of start it off, right? Today we're going to talk about kind of keeping it real and maintaining yourself through everything, right? These guys have both faced adversity, and there comes a point where you're not sure how to handle it, right? These guys have handled it insanely, and they pretty much just take it head on, and we're going to learn about it today. So without further ado, gentlemen, Brad, we'll start with you, man. Let me know about yourself, where you from, what do you do, and just be big as shit, you know what I mean?
Big as shit. Oh, cool. My name is Brad, born and raised in Saytown, Countdown City. Shout out to y'all.
Let's go.
And yeah, I got started in real estate about 5 years ago, 2018, actually in November. So coming up on 6 years, and it's just been a fucking roller coaster ride the entire way.
100%.
There's been a lot of drama, a lot of shit go on, but navigating all that is just becoming easier and easier as the days go on. And it means less now, right? Once you're established in the business and just getting older in general, right? You're not wanting to deal or even willing to deal with any of the negative shit. You know what I mean? Because obviously we're very out there. We speak our minds. We don't really give a shit what people think about us. But it wasn't always like that, at least for me. That was kind of like character building throughout this whole thing, right? I think a lot of the times when people get into a business where you're selling shit and everyone around you is, competing with each other, it's easy to slip into a dynamic of, trying to be the best, and in that thought, hoping other people fail.
Facts.
Right. And I think that's a strong thought for a lot of people who just get into sales. But I think once you really get past that and you really don't give a shit what other people are doing, not in a negative way,
right.
But just, a positive way to you so that you can just work on yourself and not have any of the outside noise, then it gets a lot easier to say, fuck y'all, I'm going to do me. And once you're doing you and you're not, posting every single picture and video that everyone else is, and you try to find your own avenue, I think that's whenever your career really starts, right? I've been in real estate for 5.5 years now, but my career just started 6 months ago. Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
I love that, bro. Yeah. Man, that was some great words, and we'll dive into your story here in a little bit, because that's insane how you've kind of pinpointed that. And I can kind of piggyback off that, because I feel like you said, not giving a damn what anybody says is something that you can kind of inherit and just kind of grow with, because it's not something that you get into the business and then you immediately don't care. Like, you have to block a lot out, and in order to go to that next level, blocking out what everybody thinks and says about you has a lot to do with it.
And most people don't ever get to that point before they end up quitting. And that's why you see people just hop in from brokerage to brokerage. It's not the brokerage for the most part. It's that agent, right? That agent doesn't know how to get their footing on the ground, doesn't know how to worry about themselves, worry about their own business, and promote their own brand, right? Everything's about the brokerage. Everything's about this person, how well they're doing. They're looking at the leaderboard. They're looking at, you know what I mean? And there's so much focus on everything other than work. And then they go home after all this and have to deal with family. So there's literally no time to work on the brand and kind of promote yourself and get yourself out there.
Yeah. So we'll talk about branding, right? So Dylan, kind of walk me through, where you're from and who are you? What do you do? Because branding, this man here has done an incredible job at branding, bro. The GOAT, literally.
So thank you, by the way, and thank you for having me on here.
Thank you for having me.
So my name's Dylan Shively, and I own James Warren Group. We're a credit management company. How that wound up happening was I was my own first client. And we'll get into that story later on, but just know for now, I was my own first client. And now fast forward 8 years later, we've helped over 11,000 people. We have just over 40 employees. We do a whole lot of things with the business because there was a huge need for it. So that became a huge part of who I am, which is why I always lead with that. But on the non-business side, I'm a father, I'm a husband. I have 3 amazing kids, Sophia, Antonio, Dominic, 13, 9, and 3. Nice. Little man is nuts. He gets all of it from his mom, nothing from me. all the good things come from me. But then my wife, Deanna, she's absolutely amazing. And honestly, she doesn't get enough credit for stuff because people see me, right? They see like, oh, Dylan's doing this and Dylan's doing this. A lot of that shit comes from her, right? So she gives me majority of the ideas, and Brad's even starting to see it too because like I'll come up with some shit, but she'll come off on the side like, you guys should do this, and he's like, that's fucking amazing.
We had dinner together the other week, and man, I walked out of there with like 4 or 5 ideas from her. And I told Dylan, I'm like, bro, she needs to come with us while we're doing our shooting because she's spitballing, and she's not just spitballing shit that may or may not work. This shit works, and it's funny, and it's really thought out.
Even the 1 minute morning that you were talking about, the Trump one that you loved, the intro was her. She was the one that was down to like, you should come out wearing something like fully decked out, this like detail,
have the
bro.
American flag on.
So she's amazing. All day. So father and husband, first off, and then for me, what wind up going off into the branding is I realized like with any business, you got to solve a problem. And if nobody knows you solve the problem, then it doesn't fucking matter. So you have to get loud and you have to be consistently loud with it. But you also have to be relatable. People will talk about like this no like trust factor all the time, but I've never heard someone get into the weeds of what that actually means. Because how does somebody get to know you? How do they get to like you? How do they get to trust you?
Right.
We all love social media, but in the same breath, people will say, but I don't want to show my family, but I don't want to show this, but I don't want to show that. You don't have the fucking option.
No.
Like if you want to earn people's money and you want to earn their trust and do the right thing, they have to know who you are. Everyone, now we call it market research, but we go stalk each other's shit.
Right.
But if there's nothing for them to find you, then people don't know that you exist. 100%. So that is now transferred into where we're doing marketing and we're doing content for people. And I'm not talking about ads and stuff. I'm trying to develop better people that get more confident in front of the camera because once they can instill the confidence in just one aspect like that, they will develop the confidence they need to do anything else, which will ultimately help them in their business. And that's what this is all turned into.
100%. You said it perfect, man. I like whenever you dive into something, I think that you should dive into it 100%, right? So like you said, there's people out there that want to do certain things, but they're afraid what certain people would say or what certain people think. How about just do it, right? And just like whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never going to figure out what can happen if you don't give it a shot, right? So let's talk about the aggressive tours, right? So So what did you what happened in your mind that brought up the idea of aggressive tours? Did somebody give it to you, or you were just like, you know what?
Not at all, bro. I didn't even know that I was gonna fucking do it on the way to the home. You know what I mean? Are you
serious?
On
like
the way to the home, on the way to the to the place that I was gonna market. I had no idea what I was gonna do. It's just another day of marketing for me. 100%. You know what I mean? And when I got out of the car, I just had this overwhelming feeling of like, man, here I am again. Here I am again, about to do the same shit that every fucking person is going to do, and the pipeline wasn't looking too good. You know, I've always done well for myself, but I've never really like exploded
for sure
on that financial side,
Got you,
so I just really just had a thought when I was standing there starting the video regularly of like, man, I'm so sick and tired of this. I was like, what can I do right here, right now? Like, just fucking do something. Like, you know what I mean? I'm fucking pissed. I'm just frustrated. And then...
So you took it out on the home.
Yeah, exactly. I took it out on the fucking home. First thing I did was I set up the camera. I went up to the Perry home sign that said available now.
Right.
And I just said, this shit's available now. And like, people think that the aggressive part of that, like me going, this shit's available now, like that was part of the act. No, I was actually frustrated.
Pissed.
You know what I mean?
This is what I did.
I was actually frustrated, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do the tour about how I feel right now. You know what I mean? And this shit's available now. You know, comes with a 5.5. Kind of sucks. Most builders are doing better. Which they were. I was just being honest. Like Perry was doing 5.5 at that time.
Right.
DR Horn was doing like 4.25. You know, some shit like that. So I was just completely honest. And then, yeah, everything after that was intentional, right? After those first couple clips, I watched them back and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. And so I did the rest of the tour like that. And I actually was meeting somebody there, Stanton. He's with RD Realty Group. And I was going to just basically show him the ropes of marketing. He was new at the time. And I just going to mentor him a little bit about, you know, how I do things.
Right.
And then he pulled up and I was about halfway through and I was like, bro, I have this amazing idea that I'm doing right now. Dude. And he's like, what is it? And I'm like, it's called an aggressive tour. And I'm just like walking through the house, kind of like pissed off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to be here. Yeah. And he thought it was a good idea, but you could tell he was like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's going to work.
Bad. Yeah.
Exactly. And I actually tried to get him to do it as well. I was like, bro, just walk into the room, be like, these ceilings suck or something like that. And then he did one, not a full video. He did one clip, and he was like, no, I don't want to do this. I was like, okay, whatever. I'll just finish it on my own. And I left there, and you know, it was fun doing that
for sure.
But I didn't think they would get the reaction that it did at all. No. Right? Every once in a while, I'd have a video that does well. Yeah. Back then, it was like 5,000, 10,000 views. Yeah. So whenever I went home and I edited this one, I posted it, and like 3 hours later, it was like 5,000 views. 6 hours later, 25,000 views. I was like, shit, this is pretty cool. Maybe I'll wake up and I'll have 100,000. Yeah. I woke up, it's like 2 million.
Bro.
I'm like, oh my God, this is like not like any of the times before where like a video just does well.
Yeah.
And I actually had videos go viral prior to that. But it's the viral, there's two different types of viral, right? There's non-personal viral, like look at this kitchen, and the kitchen's fucking amazing, and everyone shares it, but no one follows you. Right. Because it's just a kitchen.
Right. It's just a nice kitchen.
And then there's personal viral, where you go viral because of you and your personality. And that's whenever people hit the follow button. And so that video just kept going off. And so the next 2, 3, 4 videos, I just did the aggressive tours, right? And I started numbering them 1, 2, 3, 4 apart. And tonight, after this podcast, actually, in about an hour, I'm putting out aggressive tour 100.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
bro.
and that's been since the beginning of February. And we're in fucking July?
Yeah.
So in 6 months I've done 100 aggressive tours and many other videos, side adventure videos and all that. So
which are also great. They're good.
And a lot of people closest to me, they're like, man, maybe you should slow down. You might burn out a little bit. Because I did burn out a lot before, right? I would market a lot, and then I fucking just wouldn't do anything for a couple weeks.
Yeah, because that's a thing, bro.
Like, it really is.
It's tough.
But here's what I learned from this. When something is making you as much money, getting you as much recognition, and all as something like the aggressive tours does, you don't burn out.
No.
Like, I go out there every single day, and it's effortless for me now. I want to do it. I have fun doing it. And then all my editing now is just fucking top tier. So on top of like everything just kind of blowing up for me, now I'm learning these other skills that I'm tying into the business and tying in the new videos. And so, I was just, didn't expect it at all.
That's crazy,
but it happened. And I always knew once I blew up, I would know how to scale a business from there, right? But I just before that, I didn't really have anything to scale. So once that happened, I sat down and I was like, okay, I need to be strategic about the moves that I make, and every move that I've made has just exponentially grown.
That's good. So, That's good. Yeah, it's amazing to see, bro. Because like, I mean, like you said, right? What did you call it? You called it marketing, scouting, or what did you say earlier? You said
when people try to do their market research.
Yeah, market research. Yeah, it's like stalking people, right? So I stalked the shit out of you, right? So I went over, saw your stuff, went through all your videos, and I seen how you evolved, and it's so crazy, bro, because the beginning you were doing normal tours, right?
Normal tours.
Were they good? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then you started your aggressive tours. And then people started following you for you, right?
Yes, exactly.
And you continued. And the reason why I'm saying that, even your side videos of, like you just posted one of going to Schlitterbahn, right, with your lady. That one was dope. But people followed it because of you, not because you're a realtor, not because you're going to be aggressive or any of that, because of what you put yourself out there to be. And people are like, oh, I kind of feel like I know this guy, right?
Yeah, I think that speaks a lot to just like being yourself, right? Because to me, it was like I did these aggressive tours and it's like, oh, my real estate business is exploding. Yeah. But everything in my life exploded, right?
Yep.
My relationships, I'm more confident now. Whenever you realize that everyone likes you for you, the entire world changes.
100%.
Because now you don't have any anxiety.
Yep.
Now you're not worried about what people think about you.
Yep.
And the best part about, being known and loved for your personality is that now you can take that personality and you can plug it into anything else. So I do the Brad the Foodie, right? I do the food reviews. And I just love to take it different avenues. I've done RV parks, I've done barbershops, boxing gyms,
Sprinter van.
And I've met so many different people and so many different business owners from different avenues. And it's just been great for like building my sphere of influence. But back to my main point. Yeah, just being yourself and blowing up because you're just being yourself. Yeah. It opens up a lot more than just real estate.
Absolutely, bro. And I love that. So we're talking about keeping it real, right? Being yourself. Dylan has done the best at that, right? And I've seen, bro, I'm a huge fan, and it's crazy how you've been able to navigate through this crazy market that we're dealing with, right? And just regardless of the economy, anything that goes on, you seem to just keep adapting, and you don't change. You stay yourself on your stories, on your social media. In person, you're the same dude as on camera, right? So what keeps you like that? How are you able to navigate through that? There's people that don't feel the same that certain people feel about you, right? They're not a fan of you like I am. How do you deal with those people that, like for instance, you posted a story recently. You had a client, you had to fire a client, and I saw that, right? So how do you navigate through that stuff mentally?
Well, so again, it wasn't like that from day one,
right?
But very similar to what Brad said, which is why him and I hit it off like immediately.
Yeah.
Was I am who I am off camera and on camera. How I developed that was through confidence, and so how somebody develops confidence is when you say you're going to do something, you actually follow through with it. So if I say I'm going to call you, I'm going to call you. If I say I'm going to do whatever it is, I actually do it. Yeah. And we tell ourselves things every single day of, you know what, I'm going to make the bed today. You know what, I'm going to go to the gym today. You know what, I'm going to drink more water today. Not me, fuck that. But
He's not doing that.
But you get the point. Yeah. So we tell ourselves these things, right? So let me paint a scenario for a second. So if you told yourself, or you know what, let's go with Brad. Let's say Brad tells you, yo, dude, I'm going to show up and I'm going to do this for you. You know, we're going to do this video together. Right. And you go show up and then Brad's not there. And he goes, oh, my bad, I fucked up, but I got you tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and he does the same shit. And then the next day he does the same shit. Eventually, you're going to stop asking him why. Yeah. Because you're like, dude, you don't pull through with shit.
Yeah.
But 99% of people do that with themselves every single day. Facts. So when you say, I'm going to go do this and you don't do it, you're lying to yourself, and your subconscious is sitting there saying, you lying fuck. Like, you're not going to do it. Yep. You're not going to go to the gym Monday because you didn't go Tuesday through Sunday. It doesn't matter how many Mondays. It doesn't matter whatever. Every time you tell yourself something and you don't do it, you lower your confidence level. Yeah. So then you show up less confident in front of people. And this is where people get their insecurities, their anxieties, and whatever, because what they don't want to expose online is they're not who they're portraying themselves to be. So they'll post some shit of, I'm this and I'm this. But your actions, and if I were to ask you the right questions, I will find out if you're that person or not. Are you trying to be that person because you think that's what people want from you? Or are you that person? Right. Like when I moved here, the reason that we moved here was nothing to do with business. My only thing is I wanted to live somewhere where I didn't have to put pants on. I swear to God, that was the thing.
Dang, like, that was the biggest.
That was the biggest thing. I'm tired of the fucking winter. I hate the snow. I want to go somewhere where I don't got to wear fucking pants. And then my wife did like all the adult things of like, where's a good school district? You know what I mean? Like all the important shit. So when we landed San Antonio, it had nothing to do with business. We're in a completely different area. And I've just always developed myself to be me because I'm confident in who I am, because you can market research, you can stalk, you can go as far back as you want. Who I am is who I am. Yeah. Off camera, on camera. Yeah. I don't give a fuck if I'm going to an event with 5,000 people and it's suit and ties all day long. I'm showing up in a t-shirt and shorts because that's who I am. Yeah. People talk about being confident in their own skin, but they won't even dress the part of what makes them feel comfortable. You know what I mean?
Tough. So that's tough, bro.
that's pretty much how it happens. I show up confident because I do the things that I say I'm going to do. I pull through, and I know I can do it because I've already built the trust in myself, because when I tell me I'm going to do something, I do it. So I know if I tell you I'm going to do something, I do it. And so that develops confidence of just consistently putting in the reps and proving to yourself and showing yourself enough respect to pull through with the shit you say you want to do.
And a lot of people think that because we're so, I guess, like brass, that, you know, a lot of people don't want to work with us, but it's the complete opposite, right? Would you rather work with somebody who is, you know, very forward, but we're going to fucking get it done? Like, you can count on us. Or do you want to work with Joe Schmo, who's going to tell you everything you want to fucking hear, you know, get your dick hard and then not pull through, you know what I'm saying? Give you blue balls, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a difference of like consumer as well. I don't want to work with that person, and I don't want that person to work with me. I want to work with the person who can see past the hard and understand that, you know, it doesn't matter what I think of this person. He gets results. So I'm going to put my bullshit, you know, I guess, bias aside, and just bite the bullet and work with this person. But most people don't, you know, think that way. Most people are similar to us, and they're thinking, oh, fuck yeah. Like right away, the people that want to work with us, like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm working with this guy. It's like quick. They're already bought into us because they can see that we're being 100% authentic before they call. You know?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Our thing here is we spend so much time trying to find the people who resonate with the message that you don't give a fuck about the people that unfollow. It's a weaning out process of, if I could be undeniably me, I know that that is an attractive trait for a lot of people. He knows it's an attractive trait for a lot of people.
For successful people. Get more detailed, right? It's a trait for successful.
So everybody wants to be able to be who they are in front of everybody. Most people don't have the balls to do it. So when they see people that do it, they immediately get attracted because they want to do that. But the thing is we're nobody special. We're exactly who we say we are on and off camera. And to oversimplify it, if you curse, curse. If you don't. Both ways are okay. If you have a message, if you have a purpose, if you know you can help people and you're doing the right shit, do it in the way you do it, and stop obsessing over, but what if I lose followers? Who gives a fuck? They weren't going to buy anyway. So just say who you are, be who you are, because the further and faster you could do the weaning out process, you make room for more of the people that will resonate with your message, and then one day you blow the fuck up.
That's tough. No, I completely agree with you guys on everything that you guys are saying. You know, when it comes to being yourself, staying true to yourself, you guys have done it the best. And even through the process of, like you said, right, you came here and you just wanted to wear some shorts, right? You came here and became an agent, and you weren't even expecting to start the aggressive tours or blow up how you have, right? All you're doing is being yourself, right? So like, from the time I've met you versus seeing you online, you're the same dude, and it's wonderful to see, you know, because you don't get that authenticity all the time, you know what I mean? So we're talking about keeping it real. I wanted to just ask you, you know, as far as like the mentorship, right? So you had mentioned something on social media recently about finally mentoring somebody, and not really in the aspect of like, hey, you should do it this way, but hey, I like what you're doing. This is my input on it, right? How has that been going?
It's been going really good. So whenever I first got into real estate, I had somebody who mentored me, Rami Diaz, with RD Realty. And the dude is an absolute savage in real estate. He's very good at what he does. He understands the business very well. And I was able to just pick his brain every single day, all day. And I did, you know, well over 6 figures my first year because of that. So whenever I found this kid online, what happened was he was blowing up because he started these speed tours. His name was Trenton Miller. And then I actually went to his page and I went to message him because this kid's 19. He had only sold 1 home so far. And he was just absolutely exploding. I mean, millions and millions of views, hundreds of thousands of followers, basically every single day. And I wanted to reach out to him and just kind of pick his brain a little bit, see how he was doing, because I saw a lot of myself at his age. You know what I mean? So I hit the message button. I went to go message him. and there was a message request from him.
Oh my gosh.
That
he had already messaged
that I had not gotten to
That's
because
crazy.
because I had blown up a couple months before.
Yeah.
My inbox is fucked.
It's crazy,
It's
bro.
fucked.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean? Whether
crazy.
it's spam, realtors, lenders wanting to use you, everything, right?
Everything, yeah.
So I never really checked it, never really responded to anything. But yeah, there was a message request from him. He was like, "Hey man, what's up? My name's Trent. I'm in real estate. I'm brand new. Just kind of want to pick your brain about a couple things." And so I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome." He's already reaching out. So I accepted it and I reached out to him. I'm like, "Hey man, what's up? Let's hop on a call. I love what you're doing. Just kind of want to pick your brain as well."
Yeah.
And then whenever I called him and we spoke, the dude is basically a mini me, right?
That's
so
crazy.
we connected immediately. He's very driven, very hard. Like he watches Andy Elliott, Grant
Okay.
Cardone.
Yeah.
Maybe those aren't the best fucking people to
Right.
be role models for, but their energy is second to none.
there, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the energy that he brought, and I was just like, man, if we worked together, this would be fucking crazy because he was going through exactly what I just went through.
Yeah.
So not only could I mentor him on the real estate side and just kind of walk him through how to run your business,
Right.
how to pick up clients, how to write contracts, how to do everything,
Right.
but I was also wanting to navigate him through this extremely successful but stressful time.
For sure, yeah.
Because when I was 19, if something like happened to me 6 months ago happened when I was 19, I don't know how the fuck I would handle it.
Bro, same.
I was just a ball of anxiety, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's kind of how he started. I could tell he was happy it was all happening, but it was a lot of like,
Yeah, didn't really know how to handle it,
Yeah,
right?
he didn't know how to handle it at all.
That's
and
crazy.
and he set up this landing page at first before I met him,
Mm-hmm.
and he had 200 leads on that landing page. He had no idea how to talk to these people.
Sheesh.
He had no idea how to structure.
Yeah.
It was just a landing page. Like it just shot over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we talked a little bit. His broker at the time wasn't too excited about his speed tours because they just don't get it. They just don't get it. So we left this brokerage, and then he came in and signed with me under Real.
dope,
And this is
bro.
the first person I've signed. I don't sign people.
No.
I don't mentor people.
You went on Facebook and talked about that.
I'm a
You were
very
like, look,
solo-
I'm not. Yeah.
So when I was at RD Realty working for Rami, he made me a team lead, and I had like 8, 9, 10 agents underneath me.
Right.
And I gave that shit up in 4 or 5 days because the babysitting required,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And all that's going on that
Yeah.
you're not able to take that time and focus on your own brand
yeah.
was just, I'm not down for this.
Yeah,
I don't give a
yeah.
fuck if I get 10% of each one of this. So
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah,
that
I don't-
shit.
yeah. It's not
So
worth
I've been
the
solo
stress.
basically the entire time, haven't
Yeah.
really mentored anybody. But I knew right away I wanted to
dope,
mentor
bro.
this kid because, I just, like I said, saw a lot of me in him.
Yeah.
Brought him on the team, basically gave him the rundown of everything.
Yeah.
Got him a CRM, got him a landing page. Well, not a landing page, like a type form to where
Right.
it asks very specific questions.
Yes.
Where do you want to move? How much you want to spend? All that. Got on the phone with him. We talked for like an hour about how to talk to clients. He heard a couple of my buyer consults and just kind of got a good feel of like how a real motherfucker in this
solid, bro.
business
Yeah.
sounds and handles
Yeah.
things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's good.
And so I got him with Dude Wipes as well because he's doing stupid
nice.
numbers. I know the CEO there, and I got him sponsored with Dude
That's
Wipes
dope,
also.
bro.
And so right now he's probably he's working almost 20 buyers. And I'm helping him as much as I told him, hey, don't be taking on any more buyers,
No,
right?
no, yeah.
You're fucking famous
Yeah,
at this point.
Basically,
like,
yeah.
shit is gonna fall
For
through
sure.
the cracks. Don't worry about it, right? And so after I basically got my hands on him and got him structured, that stress started to dissipate
Yeah.
very fast,
Yeah.
and now he's just straight,
Yeah. He's
laser
got a plan.
focused.
Yeah.
And man, he's like the perfect person for me to want to mentor
That's
because he's
crazy,
just very driven, motivated, funny as
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And he's actually coming down this week. We're gonna do a lot of
that's dope.
content and do a lot of stuff with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's super dope, bro. And it's crazy because I think I probably came across that dude's page before you even shouted him out.
Yep.
And I loved it, right? It's
Yep.
another one of those, like, I came across your page and I was like, man, I like this, right?
He surpassed my viralness in like a week.
That's crazy, bro.
Like a
It was
week.
like 20, 30 million views.
Like
Yeah.
I'm at like 160,000 from like 10,000.
Right.
He was at like 5,000 and he's at like 1.5 million.
Bro,
The
what?
video that I have with the most views is like 4 or 5 million. He has a video with 35 million views.
Gosh, bro.
And every single video he puts out gets millions in 24 hours.
That is nuts,
Like,
bro.
it's-
He's there. Yeah,
he
like you
is-
said, he's blown up quicker than you have.
He's like one of the most famous people on TikTok right now.
That
and
is
that's
crazy.
like real fame.
Yeah.
Jake Paul called
100%.
him. Jake Paul called him, wanted him to do a speed tour of his Miami mansion.
That is nuts.
The Brooklyn Nets are they have like a new stadium. They want him to do a speed tour of that.
Bro.
I think it's Los Angeles. The Chargers.
Uh-huh.
The Chargers reached out to him. They have some new shit in their stadium. They want him to do
run through
that.
it.
So, I blew up. I started doing bookings for like local here in Texas and all that. This motherfucker is getting professional athletes and teams. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy,
So
bro.
yeah, he's riding a very, very massive wave
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to toot my own horn. I really don't mean to sound a certain way, but I feel like if I didn't get my hands on him, this would have slipped away
for
a
sure.
little bit.
No, yeah, for
you know
sure,
what I mean? It
bro.
would have slipped away a little bit. But
and,
now that he's got everything together, he's excited.
Yeah, huge shout out to you, bro, because that's something that you had to take upon yourself. And I think I can completely agree with you. Without the mentorship that you've given him, I don't think he would have continued to remain that same path as quick as it. Right?
There's almost no way.
No way.
You know what I mean?
No way.
Because
That fast, you know?
He was. I mean, he had nothing. Nothing.
No.
You know
and
what
what you did was, hey, look, I see where you're at. I was just there.
Structure the entire business,
Bro,
for
that's
him, you know what I
crazy.
mean? Just plug and play. Here, do this, do this,
cool.
do that.
It's cool because with our brokerage, right? Like, you don't necessarily have to start a team, right?
Yeah.
You don't really have to. We can also get rev share from just mentoring people like that, right?
Correct.
So if you see somebody that kind of suits your type of social media content or whatever, and they reach out to you, they may or may not fit with you. But if they do, hey, let me mentor you, let me help you out. And it's going to pay off for you in the long run as well, right?
Yep.
And that kid's going to learn so much from you. And then he's going to have other people that are going to learn from him.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just like wildfire, bro. It's
Yeah,
gonna
we got a
spread,
lot
so.
of big shit in the work.
That's
biggest
good.
shit. So, I'm really excited to show everybody what we're working on.
Yeah. So you want to talk about, exploding and really, like you said, right? You helped him kind of get those leads that he had and capture them. Stay focused.
Capture,
right?
He got the
Correct.
leads, but yeah.
And really help him kind of structure it, right? Well, Dylan, you do a social media boot camp, right? And it kind of provides one of the biggest things I see on the trailers that you put out is how to not only get the leads but keep them, right? Structure them. Can you talk a little bit about your social media boot camp? When is your next one, and what does it entail?
Yeah. So we have actually a lights, camera, social media. It's a quick spinoff. So let me break down the structure. Social media boot camp, when you show up, you're going to get everything you need to go apply.
Okay.
Then we created lights, camera, social media, which is the workshop. So we have one coming up July 26th.
Okay.
So definitely come, have all your people come. It's completely free.
July 26th.
Yeah, July 26th. So it's completely free. Doesn't matter the industry. Doesn't matter whatever. Because once you learn the core things, you can apply it to any business model.
True.
So we walk you through on social media bootcamp what to do and how to do it. At Lights Camera Social Media, we force you to do it.
Poof.
So I don't think, and I don't want to take credit for this, so shout out to my boy Wes. He was just on my podcast. By the time you guys see this, his should be airing in a couple days.
Nice.
So it's Wes Watson.
Oh, bro, I cannot wait
yeah.
to see that one, bro.
Yeah,
I'm locked in.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So one of the things that he says is we don't have an information problem or an education problem. We have an application problem. Right? So there's tons of information everywhere.
Yeah.
And we know it. We know how to do the things we want to do.
Right.
You want to go viral on social media? You got to post more.
For sure.
Right? We know, oh, you want to lose weight? You got to change his diet. Oh, we got to wake up at this time? How do you do that?
Information's there.
Right.
It's all there.
It's the application problem.
Yeah.
Right? So shout out to Wes for that because I don't like to steal anybody's shit.
Yeah.
That was his.
That's
But anyway.
that's a good nugget, bro.
Yeah. Oh, there's tons of them. Wait till you see this fucking episode.
I can't wait.
So, we have an application issue. And so I didn't realize till he said that lights, camera, social media is the application process.
okay.
Right? So we're forcing people to apply everything that they learned from social media bootcamp. So it's kind of structured where we'll give some new things that are happening. We'll show you how to do it. And then we're forcing you to do it on the spot. So we got videographers, we got photographers, and then we have a section where people are doing it on their phone. So the purpose is leave all your fucking excuses at home because you can't say, oh, I can't do it because it costs me money. It's free.
Yeah.
You can't say, I don't have the equipment. We have professionals there. Well, I don't have the right phone to do it. We'll show you how to change your fucking settings. You don't have to have the newest phone in order for it to come good.
You guys are leaving people with no excuses.
Right. And on top of that, to further incentivize them, which is so fucking nuts, you have to do this for people. Because, like, how much do I have to give you for you to fucking want it to do better?
Right.
Right. But even on that, we're doing a package that is worth about $3,000.
Yeah.
And we're doing it as a giveaway there. So just attending, you could win shit that is worth $3,000 that costs you nothing to fucking show up. Yeah. And like, what?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. So now we're eliminating all the excuses. If you don't show up, you're a fucking idiot. Like it's like you don't want it as much as you say.
I love that sell point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because now I don't ever want to hear the person who doesn't attend say they never had an opportunity.
Yeah.
Fuck you, get off the internet.
I'm giving it to you right now. Yeah.
Right. So now, what's your next excuse?
Yeah.
There is none.
Nope.
So that's the purpose of this, because again, to Wes's point, we don't have an information issue. We have, or an education issue, we have an application issue. So social media boot camps give you the education. Yeah. Lights, camera, social media gives you the application. We force you through that shit. Yeah. So it doesn't matter if you're not comfortable on camera. You're going to leave there with a video fucking produced, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you don't like the angle. We're going to do a better one to get you a good fucking picture. Yeah. But then I'm starting to teach people how to build their personal brand, because I've been doing it, but I haven't been charging for it, and I haven't been publicizing it. But now we are. Yeah. So it's like, I will show you how to build your brand, because you are the brand. A personal brand, you cannot fucking beat it. It is the best investment, because to his point earlier, you can, if you know how to develop a personal brand, you can apply that to any business model, and it fucking works because you are the brand. People buy from you, not because of what you do.
Correct.
People buy from Brad because they want to get the experience that they see on the camera. It doesn't matter if he's selling fucking cookies. He's going to do an aggressive cookie tour and everyone's going to buy those fucking things because of him. Right? So 100%. How do we make that person come out of you to show to the world, so in that way they buy from you? That's what people want. Oh, I want more views. I want more likes. No, you don't, because if you did, you'd be fucking doing more. And don't tell me you don't know how to, because we're creating the events for you to show up to so you can get exactly what you need. So I'm just trying to eliminate the excuses for people, and that's how we do it.
Man, that's tough. I love that. So again, what is the date again?
July 26th from 10 to 1.
Lock it in. It's free, completely free. There's no excuses. You just got to show up.
Yeah, so. Don't be a fucking idiot.
He's got
you don't everything. Go, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you know what that remind me of? You don't chew Big Red and fuck. That's so funny. I love that.
So you guys just started the 1 minute mornings, right? That's what it's called. I love it. I'm a big fan, like I always tell you guys. So how did that come about? You know, like what made you want to do that? You know, because you're already, again, right? You're already kind of dipping into different avenues, right? Like you said, you're doing the foodie thing, you're doing the aggressive tours, which has always been your bread and butter. Yeah. And you're kind of venturing off to different things. People started booking you to do aggressive tours for their stuff, which is insane.
I almost don't do any tours now unless they're bookings, you know what I mean?
And that's crazy, bro. What helped you, or I don't know, like what made you start that 1 minute morning? I mean,
basically I just wanted a podcast / morning show that was kind of the same. So I have like a style on camera, but I also have an editing style. Okay. Right? My editing style is the quick cut. You know what I mean? Quick cut, funny here, funny there, blah, blah, blah. And so I wanted to bring that style to the podcast. And so I thought I was actually weeks and weeks of thinking of, you know, a name, thinking of, you know, the whole premise, how I'm going to do that. And then I decided, you know, it should be 2 people. One person can get, I guess, just a little bit boring. Like, I don't always want to be the only person in my content, right? I want to have partners. I want to have different content that I use different people for, because that's how you just expand. You expand, and certain people are good at some things, and certain people suck at other things. And what I did suck at is, I guess, like podcasting, talking on a mic, talking on camera, long form.
Gotcha.
Usually what I do is, you know, one-liners.
For sure.
One-liners, and then go stop the camera and all that.
Freaking hilarious, bro.
He invited me onto his podcast. That was the first podcast I did.
Which was amazing.
It was a good time. I had a bunch of people inviting me to their podcast, but I just didn't want to do them. I'm just not a podcast dude, right? Or at least I wasn't.
Right.
But then Dylan reached out, and, you know, I've been watching Dylan for years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've always said like, man, me and that guy are like very similar.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Just not a lot of people know who I am.
Right.
But that's exactly how I would run a business if I basically had a business to run.
Correct.
You do have a business, but you're a realtor. It's not much until it. You know what I'm saying?
Gets there, yeah.
And so whenever he reached out about the doing his podcast, I was like, fuck yeah, all day.
I'm in, yeah.
All day. Just denied everyone else. Immediately said yes to him.
Yeah, that's right.
And then whenever I met him, exactly the person I thought he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No fluff, no bullshit,
Nothing.
same shit online. And I think he quickly realized that I was that exact same person.
Yeah.
And so that's whenever our friendship kind of formed. And I reached out to him whenever he came back from Greece, and I'm like, hey, I got a good idea here, and I need you to be a part of it with me because you're very good at this.
Yes.
And I think that you would just be a good addition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I pitched it to him. The name is 1 Minute Morning.
Yeah.
And then his fucking face is like, oh, fuck yeah.
Bro,
That's a great
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a great name.
Yeah.
And the rest was history. We just kind of showed up one morning and I kind of structured it and set it up how I wanted to. And it was just so natural from that point.
For
Because
sure.
I had done a second podcast with him, which is coming out soon.
Nice.
I secretly just dropped it.
Oh,
It's
okay,
out-
cool. Yeah. Well, then I'll share that. I'll share that after this.
We'll also share the link to
Yeah.
Dylan's podcast too, so that way you guys can go check it out. Great stuff.
Yeah.
After that second podcast, my confidence was there.
Yeah.
Because I watched the first podcast and I saw myself, fidgeting,
Right.
doing things that I didn't want myself to be
Yeah,
doing on
yeah,
camera,
yeah.
right? And so I learned from that, and the second one was great.
Yeah.
The second one
Crushed
was
it.
great.
Yeah.
It felt very natural, just flowed and all that.
Yeah.
And so I just like, all right, now's the time to start that 1 minute
Let's
morning
do it.
idea.
That's
So,
solid,
yeah.
bro. You know, doing podcast stuff is not. It's also something that you also have to learn how to do. It sounds ridiculous, right? But like you said, you watch a few of yourself and you're like, man, why was I doing that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Exactly,
not
yeah.
gonna do that again. You know, and I mean, you as well, right? You're doing really good with the podcast stuff, but it's something that you have to learn how to do too. You know what I mean? So, when you say he just got back from Greece, right? So, what were you doing over there?
Yeah. So really quick before I get into that, I just want to recognize what people don't know, and I didn't know either. So my strong suit is this side, the long form, the business.
Right.
His strong suit is the like one-liners that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The whole time I thought until we started doing things, because like now like I've been with him on aggressive tours, like we're pretty much doing almost everything
A lot
together.
of stuff, yeah.
And I watch, everything is off the top. Everything.
Yeah.
Like, I showed up the first time and I'm like, all right, so what's the plan? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm going to hold the phone and figure it the fuck
Okay,
out.
what do you
and
mean,
I was
what's the
like,
plan?
what?
I'm going to set the phone up.
Yeah. And like, that was it.
I love it, dude.
So I watched him do it and I thought I was creative and on the spot.
Yeah.
He's like a whole other level
Yeah.
of creative
Oh,
on the
yeah,
spot.
dude.
And like, so I'll think I'm like, yeah, I feel like this could be funny. Or I feel like this. But I'm so used to long form
For sure.
and explaining
Yeah.
where he'll take it and be like, just say this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it,
What?
dude. Like,
Like, why
that's
did
fucking
I-
amazing.
why did
Like,
I think of that? Yeah.
Yeah. So we learn from each other.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning that side of it and he's learning my side, which is why
dope.
we're like the perfect
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
duo.
yeah, 100%.
Because we both want to get better at the things that each other are already good at.
sure.
So
My
it's a-
weaknesses are his strengths.
Yeah.
His strengths are his weaknesses are my strengths.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's very good to just add the two together and just build off of
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like perfect fucking
Yeah.
duo because
No,
it's a mutual exchange of value.
Yep.
It's not one sided of
Right.
like one's benefiting from the other and that's
Right.
it. So, but anyway, so for the Greece trip,
Yeah.
the whole purpose of that.
How long were you gone?
It's like 3.5 weeks.
Bro, that's a long
Is-
time
fuck
to
that.
be away from
Yeah.
home,
Fuck
bro.
that.
That's
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah,
Is that your first time being away from
Yeah.
here? Jeez,
Yeah.
That's
and
crazy.
That was like it took months for probably over a year for my wife to convince me.
That is crazy.
because
you have
she
a
knows-
lot going on, bro. So
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
And that's tough, bro. That's tough.
Yeah.
But continue.
Well, here it was fucked up. So I knew that it wasn't gonna be like the vacation's cool, but I'm
Right.
not a vacation person.
Right.
Right? Like I don't like the beach.
Right.
Like I'm the worst person for Greece, I think. Like I don't like the beach. I don't want to sit out there and like do nothing because I'm very like, let's go.
Yeah. Facts.
And but I realized I had to take myself out of it. And when I
Yeah.
started understanding the dynamics and the real purpose of why we were going, that was a fulfillment moment where I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like, stop being so self-centered
Yeah.
and make sure that it's about your family, dude.
Right.
And so when I understood that and like, man, yeah, she hasn't seen her dad in 10 years. Her dad has not met the kids. He hasn't seen his own wife in 10 years. She wants it. That's where she's from. It's her home country. Like, she wants to be there. And so when I took myself out of it, I got really excited to go.
Yeah.
Because seeing her happy, seeing the kids happy is like number one fucking priority over anything. So like, as a family man, that gets me really happy.
Yep.
That gives the true fulfillment.
Yep.
So then I was excited to go.
Yeah.
So when she's like, yeah, we're going for like 3 weeks or whatever, I was like,
Man.
Okay.
You gotta let that
Okay.
sink in, bro.
yeah, but it's like cool. Like, you know, I'll work off Wi-Fi. I'll do things here and there.
Uh-huh.
And so like we get there and it was awesome, right? Like, I'll never forget, as soon as we get off the flight, her dad is standing there and her aunt is standing there, and they're just like, not in tears, but
At the
like you
airport?
could just, yeah.
Oh my
Because they're
gosh,
picking us
bro.
up from the airport and you could just see the excitement. And I was like, fuck it, the whole trip was worth it already.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it's like, it was awesome. So I learned more about the culture, about how
That's
they do
crazy.
things. And so I took it as a learning opportunity. Then I got to know her dad, and it was cool because her dad did a podcast with me. Again, we may not air, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but,
we'll see what's up.
but he did a podcast with me.
That's
you know, we got a
crazy.
bunch of pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was memories.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge person. For the reason I document things on social media is because one day I'm going to die. And we all have somebody in our life that we loved that has passed. And all you have is the fucking 5-second voicemail. Like, you're searching for things to hear their voice again, to, you know, have them tell a story. And I said this at our social media boot camp at the big one. But I was like, if nothing else, stop caring about how you look. Stop caring about all that stuff, because you need to document as much as possible. So in that way, your kids, your spouse, your parents, because, hey, sometimes we go before our parents. Like, people that love you, if you just leave them with just the voicemail or just that one picture, you're fucking selfish. Like, you have to build the best of you and give that person to everyone around you.
Yeah.
So document as much as you can. So then that way it's there.
Yeah.
And so while we were there, it was amazing. I got to meet them. I got to spend time with them. Doing the podcast was amazing because I want Theano and the kids and his wife to have like this whole hour and change of where he's telling all the stories and all the things that like he let loose. He said everything, and it was so fun because he's a hard motherfucker. Like,
Yeah.
dude, this dude is 70 and he's got abs. Like, he's in shape as fuck. Like, he's a badass dude.
Damn.
Like I felt at certain times like, fuck, I should put a shirt on. Like, this
Yeah.
dude, like, you know what I
Hey,
mean? Like,
man, yeah.
and he's 70, dude.
That's crazy.
Right?
Bro.
So, like, he shared everything.
Yeah.
Right? He shared how many times he's cried. He shared so many things, like things that they're gonna want to see. And that never goes away.
Yeah.
So this is where I found value in podcasting and social
Yeah.
media. So now I'm excited about the trip. We're there for 3 weeks. And then it turns out that 3 weeks wasn't that bad. And there was a part of me that I'm like, damn, I want to do more because I was thriving on all of that. And it felt so good because I'm watching how like every morning we'd go there. He's cooking breakfast. Like, everyone's enjoying. You could just tell. And we would go certain places and people that knew him, because this dude's like the mayor of his fucking town, right?
Dang,
like,
yeah.
everyone knows him.
Yeah.
And they would come up to us and be like, "Oh, you're his son-in-law, right? Oh, that's his daughter. Oh, those are your kids. Man, I've never seen Tony so happy." And I was like that's
That
the
probably
shit
gives
that
you a
gets me
different
going.
feeling,
You
bro.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
That was
crazy.
it.
So that was a thing that wanted me to actually stay. But then the other side, I'm like, at the end of the, like, the logical side is like, well, you still got to feed your family. You're missing phone calls. And the
Yeah.
worst part about it is the phone company that was there said, "Oh, pop the SIM card in. You'll still get your text messages and this and I didn't get shit.
Nothing.
So nothing. And when we even got back to the States and I popped in my SIM card again, I didn't get all the missed texts and calls. So I had people that were pissed off. I had people that canceled services with us. I had people that started referring other people over to other companies because I didn't get back to them. And I'm like, yo, I posted as much as I could
Go for it.
and said like, hey, I don't have service.
Yeah.
DM me on Facebook, DM me on Instagram, hit me up on WhatsApp. Like, I will do what I can, but this is all I got.
Yeah.
So there was always that part of me that
Yeah.
was really like, fuck, because I'm just counting the dollars.
sure, yeah.
And like how much the trip costs versus how much we're losing. We still got payroll. We
Yeah.
still got things we got to cover.
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
But then like we go out to this dinner and I want to give a shit about it because I was just enjoying the moment of watching them like just love each other
bond,
and have a good
bro,
time.
Bond. That's
you know?
crazy.
So like that was like a rock and a hard place in a sense, you know?
Outweighed it for sure, man. But that's just crazy because, you know, like that's something in your life that you wouldn't even think that you would experience. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm also, if I go on a vacation, a lot of the time it's hard to not think about your business or what you're doing back home, right? So like you're running a full-on business, right? And it comes to a point to where you're like, how do I kind of like count that out right now because of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So but talk about your business in general, right? So you talked about the James Warren Group, right, when you first started it. What made you start it? Because you said you came here to wear some shorts. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't even about work.
So
it had nothing to do with it.
What sprung that upon you? Like, how'd you start that?
So I became my own first client. So prior to this, I used to own a Verizon store. They would give you like managing partner opportunities to buy in, share equity.
Right.
And then the one last job prior to that. So, or let me do it this way. So when I was 17, I got in some real fucking trouble. And then so I got the offer of like how I want to spend my time, and I chose to go enlist into the military. So when I did that, I did 6 years in the military. And when I got out, so I was in the Army. When I got out, I was looking for my first job, and I did car sales, and I got really good at it.
Yeah.
So I started working my way up, got into upper management, and then I was just getting burnt out because I was like, man, I'm fucking tired of doing this.
Yeah.
Like 14, 15-hour days. The dealership I worked at was like an hour and a half ride. And remember, this is the East Coast. So when it snowed, our state doesn't shut down. You're showing the fuck up to work.
Yeah.
And at that time, I sold Subarus. So like the snow was our busiest time. People are coming in flatbeds with their Corolla and their Camry fucking smashed. And they're like, fine, I'll get the all-wheel drive. You know what I mean?
I'll take what I need to get.
So like we were always busy in the worst times,
Yeah.
but I learned a ton from that. And I transferred that over into wireless because the place that I was going to work at for Verizon was not even 5 minutes away from where I lived. So all I thought about was saving the drive. It was less money, but I saved money and I'm good. 2.5 years into that, I went from a store manager to a district manager. I ran all their Pennsylvania stores. And then I got the managing partner. This was my first big boy business.
Gotcha.
This is where I'm figuring out what P&Ls are, what consignment is. And like, it doesn't matter if you don't make money, you still owe people money for working. And so now it wasn't just about me. So Q4 is usually the most busy time for wireless because it's Black Friday, Christmas. Everyone wants to buy their iPads and get their kids new iPhones and do all this shit, which fuck iPhones. But anyway, so, you know, they would want to go buy all this shit. And I'm like, damn, this kind of sucks when I would have people like, I started to develop this moral compass where people would come in and they're just trying to pay their bill. Right? Like, so I don't know why people still did that. They would walk into the store to pay their bill instead of go online. But at that time, we were trained to say, hey, while you're paying your bill, I noticed this and this and this. Oh, your phone's cracked. Why don't we talk about this? We got this deal on this. You know, and we would strategically place things like putting an iPad somewhere where people would come in with kids and like, oh, just go play the game on the thing because they would get addicted to the iPad and then they wouldn't want to walk out the store without it. So it became very predatory. And I realized it and I'm like, this is not good. So like, I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. And so Q1, we were very heavy in staff because we needed it for Q4. But I didn't know how to let people go because I couldn't build up the courage to tell them like, hey, we only needed you temporarily. And like, we can't float your payroll. You know, so I tried to muss through it and just like not let people know that we weren't doing as many sales and whatever. So this is where I started using personal credit cards. I would get loans. And then, so this is where my credit started tanking. Right. And then I've had cars repossessed. My cards were closed out. I went with a debt consolidation company, which is completely different than credit repair. And long story short, I enrolled with them. They promised me the world. They took a couple grand off me, completely fucked me. And I got real pissed. So I was pissed and I'm petty. Because I'm a child. So like I am extremely mature. So and I'm competitive. So it's like a really bad blend. And so I was just like, you know what? Fuck these people. And I spent just shy of 60 straight days waking up and the first thought was, how can I destroy their fucking business? Right? So I would make posts. I would go live. I would make stories. And it was all like mainly Facebook at that time. I would create multiple Gmail accounts so I could leave multiple reviews. I would go on Yelp. I would go to Beep. Like I fucking lighten these people up, right? And I hate saying this. I just never thought of a different way of curating it. But, you know, people, they'll say like, oh, I just woke up one day and whatever. like very similar to Brad's, like, yo, I just figured like I was pissed this day, and I'm just gonna say this shit's available now.
Bro, that was
right. So same thing. I just kind of woke up and I was like, you know what? I've been destroying these motherfuckers to the best of my ability for almost 2 months, but my credit hasn't changed.
Yeah,
I didn't solve the problem.
Right.
If I would have spent the same 2 months trying to figure out how to work on my shit, I probably could have fixed the problem.
Yep.
So I was focusing too much on the problem rather than the solution. So then I started working on it. And then I kind of owed this debt to people where like I created this soap opera because I would ask people, yo, can you go leave bad reviews too? Like whatever.
Yeah.
So now my social media starts to grow and is on Facebook.
Yeah.
And so they kind of want to know what's happening today, what's happening next, because people are fucking nosy.
Keep me in the loop, right? Yeah, I'm following.
So then I started documenting, you know what, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to stop focusing on them. And as I would start to see progress, I would learn. I took all these courses, I paid all these people, and I started learning how to do it on my own.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, the worst that's going to happen is it's going to be fucked up, but it's already fucked up. So I can't go lower from here. It can only go up at this point.
Yeah.
Once I started getting deletions, once I started figuring out how to negotiate on my own, I would post it. Because I almost felt indebted, like I was obligated to keep my fucking soap opera going.
You developed an audience,
and I didn't even know.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like,
crazy.
There was no strategy for this, and so then I would get DMs, and now I'm still at the store, right? So I would get DMs of people that'd be like, "Hey, I got a medical debt. How did you get that off? Hey, how did you get that credit card deleted? You know, hey, what's a good balance that I should keep my card at?" And I'm like, And I would just give them the info. Yeah. Because I'm so busy running the store, trying to make money so I can pay all my shit back.
Right.
And then I started looking at the industry. Didn't even know it existed. And now, fast forward 8 years later, we have quite a bit of staff. We've helped just over 11,000 people. And, you know, I sold the store at that point. I took that money and that was my cushion. Yeah. But the cushion didn't last long. And that's actually how I met Fieno. She worked at the bank that was in the same plaza as my Verizon store. And I was going in there to get a loan when I was going to buy the store and shit. And that's how we met.
Okay.
But that's how this whole thing started, man. I was my own first customer. I owe this debt to this community I unintentionally built. Right. And they wanted to know, how do you solve the problem? Right. And so I would give them everything. And then I realized now, like, my industry is very fucking predatory. So I've spent probably the last year really just tearing people the fuck up and exposing, like, what are red flags? What to pay, pay attention or watch out for. We've even developed our own do-it-yourself program. So like, I saw that. So now when people come to me, I don't have to con you into why you should hire me. Yep. I'll give you everything you want for free through my content. If you watch my shit long enough, you'll get everything you need. But then they say, oh, but I don't have the time. If you don't have the time, use our platform. You only pay for the credit reports. You don't pay for anything else. This shit will generate it in under 2 minutes from creating an account to having your letters ready, and you don't have to learn about credit. Right? So we have all facets because the goal here is we help with all things credit. Right. If you just have a question, you can count on us. It's free. If you want to do it yourself, only pay for your credit reports. If you want a full service and we handle it all too, that's cool. We do it. We do personal credit, business credit. We've helped tons of people buy homes, get cars, get out of debt, save themselves from evictions. I mean, not to go down like a super deep path, but we've helped people avoid divorces. We've kept families together. Because think, what happens? We've stopped people from committing suicide. Dang, like, bro, that's tough. Like the shit we do matters. Yeah. 100%. Right. So it pisses me off when I see people that just do this as a fucking hobby and take people's money. Because I was in a position myself and got myself out of it. Right. And then so now through experience, I'm trying to help those people do the same shit. So when I see half-assed people that are trying to charge thousands of dollars and they fuck these people over, it boils my fucking blood. But then the hard part is like I can only say so much because they're local. Like I will fucking name drop. I don't give a shit. There's these local people. One of them actually, fun fact, you could look up in the Bexar County.
Which is directed to the camera for this one.
Yeah, you could go into the Bexar County shit for all my local San Antonio people. July 10th, he was just fucking arrested for theft of services. So yeah, karma's a bitch. You fat fuck. Anyway, so
let's go.
Like the shit is like, dude, it really pisses me off. But I can only say so much because. I've noticed most people in San Antonio, they play this bullshit that they want everybody to win because it makes everybody like you, they think. And then, so I can't go and say like, yo, this dude, this, and this, because they're going to be like, ew, it's because he does the same thing
Right,
as you.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like, no, the
Envy.
fuck it isn't.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what's worse? When you look at the people who compete with you and you try to say, oh, there's enough for everybody because you're afraid to not be liked and what
Yeah.
people are going to say.
Yeah.
If you truly believe that,
Yeah.
go give all of the people in your pipeline right now to your
Yeah.
biggest competitor and start over again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, but you fucking won't.
This
But
is
I thought there was enough for
competition.
everyone.
This
Yeah,
is, no,
exactly.
there's not
Right.
enough for everyone.
Right.
I will rip your head off and
That's what
shit
you got-
down your neck.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. You got to try to as a man,
yeah, go
and
ahead.
as a running a business, right? Like you said, it's very hard to not say something and seem like you're coming off as hating on somebody because
Right.
that's not the fact.
Right.
You're stating what you're doing and what everybody else is doing because it boils your blood that you have been through it, right?
Right.
And now it's to the point to where it's like, nah, it shouldn't be done like
Right.
that. You know?
There's a fucking standard and it should be held. And if
Yeah.
nobody's going to voice up, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
So it's at the point now where I don't even care
Yeah.
if you're like, oh, it's because you're coming. No, it's because he's doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And you should have standards as a fucking person of to just take care of people and do the right thing because you want that shit done to you.
Yep.
So now he's over this time because he fucking tries to copy everything. He tries to like do everything that I'm fucking doing because he thinks he's going to copy and paste his way to success.
Yeah.
And it's just not how it works.
Right.
The reason I'm quote unquote successful is because I actually help people the whole way through.
Yeah.
It's not just through the content.
Right.
It's because we'll do every single thing possible to do the right thing because that is just simply the right fucking thing to do. Don't get into business to
Facts.
fuck people over.
Facts, bro.
Yep.
You know, and so I'm so happy that shit happened. Whoever snitched on him and made that shit happen, like, I will send you money. Like,
It was you. Don't fucking lie.
Dude, I fucking wish it was me.
Yeah.
I would have said it.
Yeah.
I wish it was
would've
me.
called it out.
So whatever fucking angel did that, thank you.
Thank you.
But anyway,
So we're kind of coming up on towards the end of it, man. But man, such a great podcast we've had so far. And I wanted to just kind of finish up on this, right? Both of you guys have kept it 100% real and staying true to yourself, right? No matter what, the bad, the good, the ugly, you guys have both pushed through it, right? And I'm big fans of both of you. So if you could just share with whoever's watching this podcast, and I'll let you go first.
Cool.
What would you tell somebody that is trying to evolve in any industry, right? Whether
Okay.
it's real estate, they're starting a business, fitness, whatever.
Easy.
If they're kind of going through the ups and downs right now and dealing with haters, dealing with people that are doing things the wrong way, how would you, what kind of advice would you give someone to power through that and stay true to themselves?
Just block it all out. Block everything out. Don't get on fucking shift talk. Don't
Right.
read about what everybody who is not doing shit and just
Right.
focused on drama is worried about.
Right.
And focus on helping the people that you want to help.
Right.
Don't try to be a blanket for everyone, right? Fuck that. Cut your demographic in half and then your business will 10x. It's kind of like, oh, how does that happen? That's exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
But more than that, just be true to people and don't try to finesse people.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of sales jobs, right? I've sold cars. And whenever I got into real estate, I started with doing apartment locating. Those suck because you're always trying to finesse someone.
Yeah.
You're always hiding information from
Yeah.
somebody. I remember one of the things that we were taught with apartment locating was, if they call you and they just ask for the apartment, because you're afraid that they'll just go to that and
Right.
not use you.
Right.
Just tell them, you're not at your computer now, but you'll get back with them and then start a conversation after that.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to have to fucking finesse
I
someone
don't
and
wanna
lie
do
to
that.
them
I
every
don't wanna
time
do
they
that.
call
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So just be true to yourself and understand one thing. And I'll look at the camera for this one. Conventional marketing is fucking dead. It's dead. Suit and ties are dead.
Yeah.
All that bullshit that your dad and grandpa are telling you, it's all fucking dead.
Yep.
Right? Say the cuss words,
Yep.
make the inappropriate joke, fucking do it.
Yeah.
Be yourself 100% because that is what works in today's landscape.
Facts, bro. That's deep. That's deep. The fact that you said that, I'll kind of piggyback off that. The suits and ties, right? I had a family member. I'm not gonna state who, but they once told me, right when I first started my real estate career, it was an individual that kind of, I don't want to say was knocking what I was doing, but they were already expecting failure, right?
Yep.
And he basically said that if I wasn't wearing a suit and a tie, then he didn't want he didn't want to give me his business. And you know what I said? I don't want your business.
Absolutely.
I don't care. You know what I mean? Like that's not those aren't the people I want to work with. You know what I mean? In blood or not.
Yep.
I mean, in this business, like you said, you gotta block out the negative, right? And as easy as that sounds, it's not that easy, right?
Yep. And he didn't respect you at that time.
Nope.
But you went against what he told you. And how much do you think he respects you now?
Oh, bro, he has to. He's forced to respect me. Exactly. Exactly.
And that's the thing. You don't ask for people's respect, especially in sales. You fucking take it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's
like
tough.
a lot of people online, whenever I blew up, they're on Shift Talk talking shit. But I know.
Oh, bro.
I know deep down they fucking respect me and what I've done, what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
Admire.
that's all I need.
I can't remember who it was, but when I saw that, bro, someone took the time out of their day to write a 3-paragraph statement about you. And, bro, there was probably like 100, 200 comments on there. And I was just like, just to imagine that you posted a 3-paragraph hate letter to somebody. You wasted that much time to do that when you could have just been investing in your own business. Like, I don't understand.
Yep.
You have way too much time on your hands.
Yep.
Go do something else with it, right?
I never answered one post. I never
didn't.
responded to anything. I put the blinders on and I got fucking rich. That's how you do
Let's
it.
go, baby.
That's how you do it.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, Dylan, I'll ask you the same question. How do you block out the negativity, right? Because you carry yourself a certain way, but you're yourself, right? And you never change, and you don't give a damn what anybody says, what anybody thinks. How do you give advice to somebody that is trying to not only find their identity, but is trying to navigate through any kind of business and really just stay true to themselves? What would you tell someone that is looking for advice like that?
So first thing is you got to become undeniable. What undeniable is it doesn't matter what the people are saying about you. If you have undeniable results, then they can say whatever they want, but the results speak for themselves. To Brad's point, I'm not going to get into an argument with somebody who's doing less than me. Like,
there you go.
When you're too focused on what these people are saying, you're allowing their own thing. Because here's the thing about people that talk shit. People are highlighting the things about you that they wish they had. So they're trying to portray negative on you because that is the exact thing that they gave up on. Right? So when they're like, oh, who's this guy think he is posting shit going to the gym? Well, it's because you don't. Well, oh, who's this guy posting his fucking watch? That's because you wish you had one and you don't.
Yeah.
Right? So the work you put in becomes eventually undeniable when you consistently do it. So when you have people that are talking shit, understand that people never talk shit about somebody who is not already doing better than them. That means you're already doing something if you're catching the eyeballs of people, because nobody talks shit about somebody who's not doing anything.
True.
Right? Because they're not even on that person's radar because they're not loud enough because they're not doing anything. So if you're doing shit, look at it as a compliment. Right? So almost to your guys' point earlier, feel empathy for the person that's talking shit because it's, man, how miserable is your life to go wake up and the first thing on your mind is, let me create, like, it would take me a while to do 3 paragraphs. Like,
bro.
to sit there and carefully think
talk,
how I want to rip you apart.
Yes.
Every single thing that was probably said in that statement is everything they wish they fucking were, and it's a direct mirror.
It was very thought out, bro.
So if they had that much time, to your point,
Yeah.
it's because they're not doing shit themselves.
Right.
I've never been around people that are killing it 10 times more than me that even focus on talking shit about other people because it's a waste of time. So when you see it, I mean, I also, to a point, I operate on a lot of negative energy because that is a fuel source. So most times people will say, oh, think positive, operate on the positive, and I'm not disagreeing.
Right.
But you're missing a whole other avenue. Like, there will always be more people that talk shit than applaud you.
Yeah.
So you'll only have so much fuel to run on to keep going.
Right.
Because if you're killing it and everyone's just saying how you're killing it, eventually you're going to get complacent.
Yeah.
Because everyone's telling you how great you are. So I look for the people that are talking shit and embrace it because I put that chip on my shoulder and I'm going to be like, bet, motherfucker, watch how I prove you wrong.
Yeah.
And so I use it when the ups and downs you were mentioning.
Yeah.
When the downs happen, I go back into my notes and the screenshots.
Yeah.
Because I keep all that shit.
Yeah.
Of the
fuel.
people that talk shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker tried copying this. This person said I ain't going to do shit with this. This person said this. Oh, that's what I'm fucking doing today.
Well,
all right.
watch me.
And then I go.
Yeah.
Right? And then when you can operate in both the negative and the positive as a fuel source. You now have unlimited fuel, which means you can drive your car, which is you, to as far as fucking possible if you never run out of gas.
Yep.
So operate from both, embrace the fucking hate, use it as fuel, and you eventually become undeniable that everyone around those people that are talking shit, there winds up being more people that praise you because the results show nah, yo, you talking shit about them? There's no fucking way, because I sent him business and I've been around him and I spoke with him and I didn't see any of the things you said. And then so now everyone around them is like, nah, maybe it's you. So they wind up exposing themselves eventually because all they do is talk shit.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's good, man. Man, that was great detail, great info. I couldn't agree with you more, bro. I think that using the fuel and being undeniable is something that a lot of people can take from, right? And yourself blocking everything out. It's been really great chopping it up with you guys. You guys are amazing. Like I told you guys both, we're in the same industry. I'm a big fan of yours, bro. I'm very happy.
I'm a big fan of yours as well.
I'm very happy.
What you got going on here? This is 100% gonna blow up.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Thanks for having us, for sure.
No, I appreciate you guys being here, man. And anybody that's tuning in, we appreciate you watching. Hanging out with us, and actually hope that you gain some real value from this. Just like these gentlemen said, block out the bullshit, become undeniable, and everything will work itself out, right?
That's right.
Dylan, Brad, appreciate you guys being here, man. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.